I'm often asked what separates the different Dan grades from each other. The honest answer is that technique alone doesn't explain it. And most people who ask the question are already sensing that something else is going on. For example, I have a student who has had the hours for some time now for Shodan because he's trained many years, but his training was a bit inconsistent. And so he hadn't developed a presence on the mat. Then on a recent visit to the dojo where he trains, I was giving a seminar, and I noticed a difference in his presence. I thought, wow, something happened. And I'm not even talking really about confidence. People like to talk about, oh, you should be confident in your Aikido. I don't know. I think actually confidence can be a bit dangerous. I think I don't like the term imposter syndrome, but I think a little bit of humility is very productive. You know, like, I don't know if I did that one too well. So that's not what I'm talking about. I don't think I did that one too well. You can improve. It helps you to continually try to improve. But I'm talking about a presence, a person, a speaker who walks into the room and yeah, they seem confident, but also they seem to fill the room. And it's a little bit different from confidence. Leave a note in the comments section if you know what I'm talking about and if you've got other examples. But anyway, suddenly he seemed to have this different presence, a bigger presence, a more full presence. I thought, okay, we're ready to test him now. Again, this is for the Dan grades. And then I found out later that he's getting married. I thought, oh my gosh, that's why I noticed this different presence about him. And yes, he did seem a bit more confident, but he just seemed bigger. He seemed to fill the room a little bit more without being arrogant. So these are the things that I look for when I'm deciding to test someone for this Dan or that Dan. I'm not looking for somebody who knows more techniques or complicated techniques. It's more about the depth, the principles that each technique offers you to study, right? So each technique does offer various principles and lessons to study. So a Dan grade, I think, reflects a shift in how you organize yourself. Not just what you know. It's how you organize yourself, how you present yourself. So the jump from third Dan to fourth Dan isn't about harder techniques. It's not about more complicated techniques. It's not about more techniques. It's about doing simpler techniques fundamentally differently and beginning to embody those principles inherent in those techniques. Most practitioners at third Dan are still refining technique. At fourth Dan, you start to disappear into the technique. Going into fourth Dan, the margin for error starts to shrink. And the practitioner at that point has learned to be more comfortable with that. So if you're off by this much or that much, it makes a huge difference at that point. People are attacking you more sincerely, faster, sharper, cleaner. And so you've got to be on it. You've got to be on your game. You've got to have clean lines, clean entries. Your movement has to be smoother so that you can move more efficiently and quickly, not suddenly, quickly. Connection at that point replaces control as the primary organizing principle. So how to organize yourself? At first we want to control our partner, but then later we want to connect, and keep that connection going. The technique stops being something that you do and it starts being something that happens through you, not by you. You become more of a conduit for the technique. So at the white belt level, even the Shodan level, we're doing techniques on people. And then Nidan, Sandan, we're doing techniques. And Yodan Techniques are happening through us. Maybe Godan. So that's a big breakthrough, big milestone, I believe. By the way, if you want to go more deeply into this topic or learn about other topics like this, just click on the link below for my free weekly training video. Moving on, let's take a look at things that you can do right now, no matter what grade you are. So first of all, slow everything down. You don't have to tell your partner to go slow, but try to slow your mind down. And of course, you have to adjust to the speed of your partner. But once the connection is made, see if you can slow things down a little bit. Usually, speed is where the errors hide, right? And that's where you can develop bad habits most easily. And my senpai, many times in Japan, one of the first things I learned was gomakashite ikanai yo. It's you shouldn't cut corners. You shouldn't cheat. It's hard to translate perfectly, but I like the translation, cut corners. So don't cut corners. And when you go fast, you often cut corners. And so then you got bad habits because you didn't complete this movement or that movement because you were going fast. So think about that. Complete every movement. In fact, instead of saying slow things down, you can try to slow things down, but I find that that's difficult. Remind yourself to complete every movement. If there's an empty-handed cut, then watch your teacher. See how far down the hand cuts. And make your hand cut down that far. Don't just go part of the way. Don't cut corners. Copy your teacher exactly. And if you're thinking, well, I don't like the way my teacher does this or that, or I don't think their Aikido's that good, well, you got to move. You got to move to a different city. So I don't know any other solution for that, sorry. The next one, train what you already have instead of chasing what you want to acquire. So sure, you want to acquire this or that. You see, your role model. Oh, I love that person's Aikido. I love that person's Aikido. I want to be like them. Great. Don't forget that. Please continue to chase that. But don't try to fake it. You got to train through all the different levels. Again, you can't cut corners. There's no fast path. And you need your repetitions. Here's a simple one, what you can do right now. Go to class minimum 3 days per week. Minimum 3 days per week. And be the first on the mat and be the last off the mat. And when I say be the first on the mat, I don't mean be the first on the mat so that you can hang out and chat with people. I mean be the first on the mat, warm up silently. Don't socialize. People are going to think you're antisocial. Well, in 20 years, they're going to feel a difference in your Aikido and go like, wow, why is this person's Aikido so incredible? This person also was training the same number of years as that person. How come her Aikido is so much better, so much heavier, but agile? That's how it happens, is be the one that take the most ukemi. How can you take the most ukemi? Be the first one on the mat, be the last one off the mat. First one on the mat, and don't socialize, just warm up, then get a partner, ask somebody to train with you before sensei bows in, and then after class, ask somebody to throw you. Could you throw me a little bit, please? And go to seminars. During those seminar classes, do the same thing. First on the mat, last off the mat. During those seminars and regular classes, sit like you are ready to be thrown. Sit like you are sitting on a spring so that the teacher notices you, right? And then you'll get thrown more. Ukemi is really the key behind all of this. Chase down the senpai. So maybe finally the teacher's using you for ukemi. Great. Then the teacher says, go ahead, get a partner, run to the senpai. And soon you'll be thought of as senpai anyway. You'll pass your senpai in rank if they're not doing the same thing. So if you've got a good senpai, they're doing this too, and it becomes a little bit competitive in a good way, in a positive way. So chase down your senpai and never, ever, ever hesitate to approach a senpai. If you're at a seminar and there's a super famous 7th Dan, 8th Dan teaching the seminar. So they're throwing all these 5th dan, 6th dan, 7th dans for the demonstrations. And you're like, but I'm just Shodan, or I'm just a white belt, or whatever. And so you're more passive. I hope I get to train with that person. Hoping isn't going to do it, because everybody's hoping, and there are just a small group of people who are running to that person and saying, "Onegai shimasu." Any senpai who turns their nose up or refuses you, I've never even seen that. Like, no, I'm not going to train it. Any senpai who does that, they're not worth training with anyway. So you run and say "Onegai shimasu" and train with them. Don't hesitate to do that. In conclusion, the difference between different dan grades is real, but it's not about the certificate, and it's not about the number of techniques or how complicated the techniques are. It's about what's underneath it all. And that's something that you can start working on right today. Before we end the video, I just want to remind everybody that I've got a Germany tour coming up, September 14th to 27th, and it's not too early to jump on the wait list. I'm going to be taking a small, curated group with me to Germany. I'll be teaching seminars in 4 different cities, and you'll want to get on that wait list so that I can tell you about the tour and see if it's a good fit for you. So look in the description below and jump on there. Thanks so much for joining me today. See you again next time. Bye-bye.